Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Punch House, the online show where humans take to the internet to do what they do best, argue with each other over trivial nonsense. And here comes the only person with the machismo to bring you this madness, your host, Brieana Woodward.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Punch House with me, your host, Brieana, and my three special guests this week is Roberto Solis, Bryan O'Donnell, and Brandon Johnson. Hell yeah, thanks for joining me, boys. So this week, we are going to be fighting and figuring out who the best bare-knuckle brawlers are in the category of fast food mascots. And to kick things off, I'm just going to go with my very obvious choice, the King, okay? The Burger King. And I pick him. No, listen, every time I go to Burger King, he whoops my ass because I get diarrhea every time. So I am here because he knows what he's doing. He's about that biological warfare. So Does
he make you wait 20 minutes every time you go there first?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He plays the long con, okay? And that's why his attack, I give his attack a 4 because, you know, he's sneaky and he'll get you. His strength, though, he's not very strong. I've seen his little legs. He's not, like, they're good for sneaking, not good for kicking or anything. So I'm going to give his strength, like, probably like a 3. It's not bad, just a 3. Defense, I don't know. He does have that crown and he could, like, bop you right in the noggin with it. So I don't know. I'd say it's like a solid 3 on defense. And stamina, though, this is where he comes in. Like I said, he's got plenty of time. He can go all freaking night because that's how long it takes to get through them fucking lines. So his stamina gets a 5. And special attack, I feel like he would just like, y'all ever play that Xbox game they came out with?
Oh my God.
And I think he drops like a little black hole and he can hop in it. So that's his thing. He can shift real quick. He's like, pow, pow. Yeah, he's sneaking.
Sneaking, yeah.
So that's
I had his defense low because he's got such a big head, his hands can't block anything.
Yeah,
so
I mean, one prop I'll give you is his stealth is probably sky high, you know. So
but that's, you know what? We'll talk about it after. Roberto, because you got so much to say. Okay, how about you go? No.
Well, I mean, I am a bit of a fast food professional, as you can kind of tell here, whatever that means. I am going to go with the Colonel, a.k.a. Colonel Sanders, as we all know, the mascot of KFC. Let's be real here. His stats across the board, probably not great because he's an old ass man. So we could probably just rank them all in the lower tier. However, I will say defense is probably 5 out of 5 because, I mean, he's been protecting that secret recipe for years. Really, what makes him the character to choose is his special ability, in my opinion. He has a few of them, you know. The first one I think we'll call early onset dementia, you know, where he convinces himself everyone is trying to steal his recipe and then rages and is just a berserker and almost unkillable. I think his pretty powerful secret ability, his last one here, is some good old RCA, racism and cultural appropriation, where he just says offensive shit and steals everyone's ability, making him pretty much unkillable. So, hey, man, I'm here to win. I'm here to win.
That does not make him unkillable.
Oh.
You know,
I thought a special ability would be like Shang Tsung, since he's got so many other people that impersonate him, or he could take everybody else's soul. So I thought it'd just be like Shang Tsung. He just morphs into John Hamm or
really?
or anybody else that wants to play the Colonel.
I like that. His special ability is that he's just unbeatable, in my opinion. His special ability is whatever you want to give him.
Well, you know what? I don't know. So what's his like attack, strength, and defense? Like 2? Like just
I would say 2, but I would say early onset dementia and RCA just kind of maxes out his stats like across the board. So it's like a power move. You just select it and all of a sudden it's like turbo for like 20 minutes. And 20 minutes, are you kidding me? He's gonna kill the king before 20 minutes passes, and whatever fast food mascots y'all choose, because I'm here to win.
We'll get into how your choice is Bullshit. But first, let's give Bryan a chance to give his fighter.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought long and hard about who my fighter would be. I went through a lot of possibilities. My first instinct was Little Caesar because he's the only fast food mascot with a weapon. But I decided to go with Jack from Jack in the Box. Yeah, I think he's got some drawbacks for sure. In that his head is essentially a large egg. But he also has big fucking eyes, so he could see the field of play very well. I think that would help in his attack score. His strength may be a little bit low, but his defense, I gave him a 5 in defense because, again, while he does have a thin shell encompassing his brain and face parts, he is a white man. So he's got the strength of white privilege to, and the head of a corporation. He is in canon the president of Jack in the Box. So he's nigh untouchable in many ways. So I think that's where his defense really comes in strong. Stamina, a 2. If he's eating Jack in the Box, then he's fucked after about 20 minutes. So, but I think, with his special move as well. Again, the white privilege really does encompass a lot of things, but his physical special move is having a giant spike for a nose, which he could just ram through an eye socket or into a throat. I think so. That's where I was going with Jack.
That's fair. I don't know. I'm pretty convinced with this spike nose. Like, I think. I don't know. We're making predictions, but let's not jump the gun here. We got one more player. Brandon, who is your fighter?
My number 1 is Little Caesar, for the exact same reason Bryan said. He's the one with the weapon.
But no weapons allowed. Even if they have a weapon, you have to discard it. You can't count weapons.
You can't count weapons? Wow.
Jack in the Box, that's his nose. Like, Little Caesar's also got a pretty hard schnoz, but like
That's
you
true.
gotta rank them based on their physical attributes. So
That's you're picking the only mascot that got assassinated in history, by the way. Let's remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why his stamina is going to be way low. Like, he'll give up. His stamina is like a 2, but because he has a trident, basically that's what gets his strength up to like a 5, and his defense, because he could obviously parry that by using stick martial arts.
Yeah.
So
wait, hold on. Does he have a trident, a sword, or a stick?
I am just confused. I thought we were trying to win here, Brandon.
Yeah, I thought it was whenever he slams down the trident and the pizza flips up, it's got 3 hooks at the end. So I'm thinking he's Little Caesar, and he's got that. So I went with that weapon. But like, his special attack was just going to be a trident slam, where he just turns it around and literally just garrote you.
He also is a ghost because he was murdered, so he can't be hit. He's incorporeal. So you need a magic weapon to touch him.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Have that be the pineapple that's supposed to not go on pizza. That's his one drawback.
Yeah.
Well, if he was a ghost, then, like, I don't know, I would probably give his attack, like, a 2 then, because you ever been hit by a ghost? You probably can't feel that. You get, like, a little whoosh, freak you out a little bit. So, I don't know. I'd say his attack's probably, like, a 2.
Are you speaking from record? You get hit by a
Yeah,
ghost?
I am speaking.
Yeah.
Listen, numbers were not given, so I'm going to put my own numbers, and I'm giving his attack a 2 and his strength a 1 because he is a ghost, okay?
Yeah, let the record show Brieana is abused by ghosts.
Listen, we're not talking about my Tinder history. We are going to get straight into... No. No. All right. So you're staying with Little Caesar? That's your final choice?
Well, I guess so now, yeah. My final number 1 choice.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see how you do with the defense. So, all right, let's just start getting right into it here. So, all right. My choice. Who did I pick? The king. So we're gonna listen. He's snuck away. He snuck away from my brain for a moment. But so the king versus. Let's just do the top. I think he's lower tier. I don't think the king is gonna make it to the top 2, but we'll see. King versus Little Caesar. Who do you think would really in that bracket? I think the king's got this.
So I mean, he is a king. So does that mean he's ever really fought anybody?
This is a king versus Caesar, and Caesar
Yeah.
was also a king of
Conquering little man syndrome.
yeah.
I think that's Napoleon
That's
you're
a
thinking
big
of.
chip. That's a big chip.
Yeah,
Still Caesar.
I think Caesar's just the one.
The Romans weren't very tall.
You know,
Yeah.
we're not
Fact.
speaking for all Romans, but I don't know what cultural descent the king is from. He is the king of burgers, so maybe he's German.
I think he might be Scandinavian, honestly.
Yeah, he's probably got some Scando.
Yeah, Scando. I like it.
Scando Euro.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I think the king, he's just got a higher attack. He's got better strength. He's got a crown. Fucking this little Caesar, what does he have? Those pussy little fucking leaves on his head?
But here's the thing with the king, though. His neck doesn't move. So if you just, like, move to the side,
True.
you're having trouble with him. You know, you're gonna give him some trouble.
And the king has rings like brass knuckles. So I'm thinking if you add the crown in, then you have to allow Caesar's trident.
All right, I think in battle, I don't know. Do you think the crown is really part? Like, he could easily whip that off. Like, he could just be like,
I don't think he can. I think it's like part of his skin. I think.
well, if it's part of his skin, if it's part of his being, then it counts. Because it's not a weapon. It is a physical attribute. And with that, I say he would just be like, boop, and he would headbutt the fuck out of that little bitch, little Caesar, and he would be done.
So it's like a ram horn or a rhino horn, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
I vote the king.
The king is essentially a rhino. Yes,
I think the king would take it.
All right, king has made it to the next bracket. All right, so let's do the king versus Jack in the Box. They're very similar. They're both. I think the king is the CEO of Burger King. Jack is the CEO of his box.
I mean, is the Queen of England the CEO of England? I don't think so. I think she's a figurehead, and so is he.
Oh boy.
He is a CEO of burgers. Okay, he got this. Like he's all right. Did Burger King ever have a burger with an egg on it? Because he is gonna. If not, he's gonna crack open Jack's big ass egghead and make it into a fat boy burger. It is gonna.
I mean, the king is by far much more menacing than any other fast food mascot, really. I think, but especially Jack, who presents as a very trusting, open person. We often see him in shorts and doing fun activities. The king is always menacing. He never is, he's never having a good time. He's always scaring people, threatening them. So he seemingly has practice in, violent areas.
I don't know. I think Jack in the Box might be a pro at white collar crime. So
I mean, yes, 100% he is.
I think Jack might be the one who would beat the king. Honestly, because he is always wearing shorts and doing fun activities, and like it's those you least suspect. Like I feel like he's gonna be like Elijah Wood in Sin City, where it's just very calm.
Yeah, he's got for sure serial killer energy.
Oh yeah,
big serial killer energy.
I mean, Jack in the Box has had like in the last 30 years famous like E. coli cases that have a body count. Jack in the Box has a body count. Which I don't know if we can say for Burger King.
Well, the Burger King had a Simpsons tie-in with toys, so he could always just reach out to Fat Tony and just have him dispense like he's the king. Like, hey, I have my mafia with me.
That's true. That is.
I think in this Fight Club we don't do gang-related activity.
I don't know what to say.
That's a lot of stuff I didn't even know about.
At Burger King, you can get a little crown, and I feel like you're almost become part of like the king's army. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Knock off White Castle. There you go.
All right, well, we'll put a pin in that. All right, how about Jack in the Box versus the Colonel? We haven't even touched the Colonel yet, and I am excited.
Colonel's untouchable. I'm sorry. That's just the truth.
No.
Your biggest trait of Jack in the Box, white privilege, just ineffective against the Colonel. The Colonel pretty much made white privilege, I think. Yeah.
That is true. He has stronger white privilege. That I cannot deny that.
We cannot deny that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, none of us can. I think Jack has stronger physical attributes, but I mean, we've seen time and time again that that's not enough to overcome.
I don't think you gave the Colonel enough credit when you were giving him the attack and the strength and whatnot. Like, yeah, sure, he's solid twos, but like, he is a Colonel. That means he was military. He is
True.
He is ex-military.
He's trained to kill.
He is trained to murder. I forget what a colonel is. If that's Navy or the air
Whether that's
one.
maybe it's heart disease that he's killing with these days, but the
Yeah,
double down, baby. The double down.
Yo, I think he's got a sick one too. Like he had
probably.
a sandwich with meat for the bun. he is the true keto king. Like he is just like, nah, we don't do no bread, we just do meat.
Yeah, and let's get real quick. That Colonel sauce, so good.
And their new fries are good.
Yeah, but they got rid of the wedges, so he kind of loses a point for that.
Boo!
I don't make the
weakness.
rules.
Yeah,
I don't make the rules.
That's a weakness.
I like wedges way better than tater fries.
The fries are good though. The fries are good. Brandon has a point.
If we're gonna go by French friolas, then I think the king here has. If that matters in this fight, then the king definitely has KFC beat. That's like saying.
I don't think so. Yeah, no, we don't share the same tastes.
Yeah, have you ever eaten a Burger King fry?
No.
I like the finer things, Brieana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had a KFC fry either. I don't really like fries, honestly. I don't really eat fries.
So you're about to impose this fry rule on us, and now a minute later you're like, I actually don't really eat fries. I don't like them.
I'm the king, okay?
Physical attribute.
If we're going by fries though, Jack in the Box has curly fries. So
All right, so curly fries win. So that takes care of the fry thing. I overrule with my burger staff.
I think when you're talking about the Colonel and you're talking about Jack, it comes down to an opportunity. And if Jack has an opening and gets a spike through, the Colonel's face, then are we sure that the Colonel goes down?
I just think the defense for the Colonel, like we said, sky high.
That's the problem.
I don't know if that spike will even bring him down. And at that point, he rages, berserks, and I don't think Jack in the Box or his little Jack in the Box company can withstand a full attack.
No, and Jack is much like a bumblebee in that once he uses that stinger, that's it.
Oh.
This is one shot.
Yeah. Oh God. That's terrifying.
And
I guess the Colonel turns into a Kratos from God of War and just goes into berserk mode. And just
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
him.
Absolutely.
I feel like, between the egghead, he would use the spike, but the Colonel's dome piece is just so calcified from all the chicken and stuff. I don't know, nutrition facts. And then it's his skull is just so hard that the spike backfires into Jack's head and just explodes his little ping pong ball egghead.
He throws those 11 herbs and spices right in his face like salt.
Pocket sand. Pocket
Oh my
spice.
God.
Pocket spice. Yeah.
Sha-sha-sha!
Sha-sha.
Yeah.
It's like a wrestling manager from the 80s. He just
The classic Mr. Fuji move. That's I think I hate to say it, but I think the Colonel might outlast Jack.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
that means that the final two, let's take a vote then. So for the top two, raise your hand. All right, let's just get it out of the way. So Brandon's what was his? The Little Caesar?
Little Caesar.
If you think
My
Little
top choice.
Caesar belongs in the top two, raise your hand.
Brandon, you're not even voting for yourself.
No, well, that's the thing. I was going to give a thumbs up, but then she was like, physical attributes versus what we can and can't use now. So it's like everything else is going on the fly. I still think the trident should be allowed, which gives him his power as Caesar. But you're saying no. So I'm going to say
Amen. If the
All right,
trident's
we
allowed,
got-
all of the weapons from the Colonel's World War I activity is allowed. Just saying.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
if you allow one weapon, you got to allow them
Yeah.
all, so it's no weapons. All right, so that is one pity vote
Yeah, just
for
one.
the Caesar. All right. If you think the Burger King should make it to the top two, raise your hand.
Oh, that's
kinda
hard.
do.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of do.
Nice. Hell yeah. All right. All right, now it's the final two. I thought that Roberto and Bryan were going to be the top. I thought it was going to be Jack versus the Colonel, but let's see. If you think Jack should be in the top two, raise your hand.
I don't.
I think he would have came in third.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't.
All right, so then do we even need to vote? Whoever thinks, well, all My brain just farted.
The Colonel.
The Colonel should be in the top 2. All right. So, all right.
And he's evil. Let's be honest. He's evil.
Oh, he's
the
so
heel.
evil.
Yeah.
So evil.
I'm not cheering for him. I'm just
me neither.
recognizing that he would, prevail in this contest so far.
Honestly, I feel almost guilty bringing him into this competition.
I don't know. I think the king they're both hard-headed individuals. The king is made out of like fucking whatever his helmet stone. Maybe it's like a Darth Vader situation. Like that's not really the king's head. That's just like his helmet.
Okay.
He's got like a fucked up nutsack face under there.
So,
they reconstructed his body like the carbonite.
Yeah, he's made out of Whoppers, and he's gonna give you a Whopper.
That's where the impossible meat comes from. It's
it's people. But yeah.
Soylent Green.
Yeah, so I think between the Colonel and the King, I think that's a pretty good fight. So. All right, it's now up to the commenters and the watchers of this video to go to the comment section and kill each other about it. Who do you think would win, the King or the Colonel? And thank you, Roberto, Bryan, and Brandon for joining me on Punch House. And that's our show. Bye, everyone.
Hey, yeah. Bye.
Bye. I love you guys. Bye.